Dr. Metz, I picked up the call again. It's coming in a lot stronger.
Why, it's the same message, word for word, that we received before, Doctor. Surely it's safe to give it to press now.
No, not yet. May still be a hoax. Dr. Metz speaking. Yes? Yes? Are you sure, Doctor? Good. I'll be up right away. It was Dr. Osborne calling from the observatory. He's definitely picked up the craft through his telescope. Now it's safe to give the story to the world.
Williams Observatory verifies a rumor broadcast earlier today that radio contact has been made with Flash Gordon, Dale Arden, and Dr. Alexis Zarkov aboard their rocket ship returning from the planet Mongo. By means of the observatory's 100-inch telescope, they have sighted the rocket ship several thousand miles distant and moving toward the Earth at the incredible speed of at least 1,200 miles an hour.
It won't be long now, eh, Flash? There's old Mother Earth coming up to meet us.
Where do you think we'll land, Dr. Zarkov?
Can't tell exactly, Dale, but I hope it'll be a large open space.
Anywhere but the ocean.
We're dropping fast. Set the retarding rockets. Of your braces. Come out.
Wow, we made it.
Will you get that contraption out of my melon patch?
Well, it sounds as if we landed right in the middle of the United States.
We have the honor to present that distinguished scientist, Dr. Alexis Zarkov, who will tell us something of his amazing adventures on another planet. Dr. Zarkov.
Ladies and gentlemen, since our return from the planet Mongo, Miss Arden, Flash Gordon, and I have repeatedly been asked the question, is there any likelihood of the Earth being visited, or should I say invaded, by people from another planet? As to its likelihood, I cannot say. But as to its possibility, the answer must be yes. Judging from Mongo alone, other planets may be so far advanced as to possess means of travel more efficient in every way than our rocket ship. Perhaps by some means unknown to us, with a very...
There, O Ming, you've witnessed the death of two of my most faithful subjects, sacrificed to further your plans of conquest.
A touching display of loyalty to their queen, Azura, and a cheap price to pay for the annihilation of the Earth folk and the advancement of this planet towards its conquest of the universe. We, who shall benefit by your sacrifice, salute you.
This conference has been in session, we have discussed a wide variety of theories regarding our recent atmospheric disturbances. Unfortunately, no two of them agree. I have here an opinion from every man present, with one exception. Dr. Metz, have you nothing to contribute to a discussion on which depends the world's civilization? Perhaps even our very existence?
General Rankin, The fate of our civilization rests upon the findings of this group, and I say it is definitely doomed. I have no theories to offer, and none thus far advanced will stand the test of reason.
You couldn't have heard my paper on subterranean volcanic disturbance.
I heard it, and it's utter nonsense.
You're right, Metz, but you can't say the same of my suggestion of altered polarity.
I say the same of that and all other theories I've heard. Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
I protest against that. Your standing fails to justify such criticism. Gentlemen!
Order, please. Will the Sergeant-at-Arms please clear all press representatives from the room?
Yes, sir. All right, boys, you'll have to break it up. Break it up. Come on, outside. Come on, you'll have to break it up. That's the general order. All right, outside. Don't blame me. It's General Rankin's orders. Come on, outside.
Is that so? Well, you can tell the general for me, if he wants to get the lowdown on those windstorms, he better talk it over with Dr. Zarkov. Ever hear of him?
Come on,
All
outside.
right, sourpuss, don't be rousing people
Come
around.
on, outside.
Who you pushing around like that? Say, speaking of Zarkov, how come he wasn't invited to this party anyhow?
He was, but he's off someplace with Flash Gordon working on some theory of his own.
Yeah? Well, why aren't you saps out there with him, getting a real story?
Yeah? Try and find him.
Every reporter in town will give you his right eye to know where he is.
Brother, I think I got something. Mr. Flash Gordon.
He ain't here. You can save your breath, because I ain't telling you where he's at.
Well, if you know where he is, phone him this message at once. It's from the ambassador of Mesopotamia.
Who?
No. Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia?
Yeah.
You don't say. I'll phone him immediately, and thank you very kindly, sir.
Okay.
Hello? Long distance, please. Give me Allen 6834. Yes, sir. Hello, Miss Arden? Could I speak with Mr. Flash Gordon, please?
No, Mr. Gordon's not here now. He and Dr. Zarkov are up in the play making observations. I'll have him call you as soon as he comes in.
Feet, Zarkov. Can't go much higher without oxygen.
Hold it at this altitude, Flash. I think the air is thin enough for this infrared to work.
Look, Doc. Something's happened to the instruments.
That's right. We're heading into some severe electrical disturbance. We can turn back now. I think I've got the proof I wanted.
Hang on, Doc. Grab the controls. The aileron's busted.
What are you going to do?
Straighten it out if I can. Still got your pictures, Doc?
Okay, Flash.
Flash! I was so scared when I saw the plane was going to crash.
Hold it, just like that, folks. Now, one more of the three of you, you know, kind of shaking hands and congratulating yourself on your escape.
Reporter, huh?
Well, one of the best. Come on, get together, don't be bashful. Where are you, anyway? Hey, wait a minute! I suppose your little experiment this morning had to do with determining the cause of the world's disaster.
I think that goes without saying.
Good. Well, I'll go along and get a statement of the results.
Any statement from Dr. Zarkov this time will only bring down a flock of reporters and interfere with his work.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll go along and get the story just the same.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute there, will you? Hey, come here, fella, will you? You can't do this to a gentleman of the press.
That gray streak is a picture of the light beam I expected to find.
You think that has something to do with the disasters we're suffering?
In time, that beam will make the Earth a dead world. Haven't you noticed where it's coming from? The planet Mongo.
The planet Mongo?
The kingdom of Ming the Merciless?
Why, it couldn't be Ming. He's dead. We saw him die in the flames.
Someone up there is waging war on the Earth, and I intend to find out who, while there is still time to stop it.
You mean you're going back, Vale?
Oh, what good could you do if you got there? You haven't got a chance in a million.
That's the one chance I've got to take.
But Dr. Zarkov...
You're not asking me to stand by without doing all one man can to prevent the destruction of the Earth, are you? Of course not, Flash. I'm leaving as soon as the rocket ship can be made ready.
Well, in that case, of course, the two of us will make the trip together.
You mean the three of us?
What's that up ahead? Looks like a gray wall.
That's the outer atmosphere of Saturn, buddy. It's 10 times denser than the air around the Earth.
Look, it's two of Killer Kane's ships coming up fast behind us.
Hard your speed to 1/2.
If we do, they'll get away from us.
Don't worry about that. They'll either have to slow down or go up in smoke.
Retarding rockets. If we enter that atmosphere at this rate of speed, the friction will burn us to a crisp. Look, they smashed the rockets. I can't fire them. Help me up
in the oxygen tanks. If they explode, we'll be blown to atoms.
Buddy, take the controls.
The portholes are giving way, Black.
That's no use. The heat has melted the valve heads. Move, buddy.
Anti-gravity belts. We'll have to bail out.
Buddy, open the airlock. It's no use. The heat's jammed the door. Stand back, woman. All right, bud, down you go. Get to the outside door.
Tony, you take the radio.
Go on.
What a desolate-looking place.
Not a sign of life anywhere.
Spaceship Squadron 7-4, calling Earth, calling the leader. Spaceship Squadron 7-4, calling Earth, calling the leader. Spaceship Squadron 7-4, calling Earth, calling the leader.
This is the leader.
The Hidden City spaceship just blew up in the outer atmosphere of Saturn.
No survivors?
There couldn't be, sir.
How high off Saturn are you?
50,000 feet.
Follow the wreck down and be sure they're all dead.
Yes, sir. Stand by the retarding rockets. Signal the other ship that we're going down.
Yes, sir.
This traveling around from Earth to Saturn's all right, if you're sure of a way home.
Well, we could at least talk to home. Will you set up that portable radio, buddy?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Deering calling the Scientist General of Earth. Lieutenant Deering calling the Scientist General of Earth.
Air Control Headquarters of the Hidden City. Go ahead, Lieutenant Deering.
Give me the Scientist General at once, please.
Wilma, this is Dr. Hewer. Are you safe, all of you?
So far, yes.
Our outer atmosphere patrol reported 2 of Killer Kane's spaceships took off after you.
They did and shot down our ship, but we got away with anti-gravity belts.
Well, if all of Saturn is like this, you can have it.
Right. Wreck's over that way.
Tell the men on the other ship to stand guard.
Perhaps the Saturnians have spaceships. If so, we'll try to bring a peace mission back to Earth with us.
A good idea. Keep in touch with me. If you get into difficulties, we'll do anything in our power to bring you back.
Very good, Dr. Hewer. I'll sign off now.
Can't see how they got away from that wrecked ship. They won't get away from this. Wait.
We'll take them alive and force the secret of the Hidden City from them.
Let's attack them from both sides. Circle around them.
Buck, I just saw one of Killer Kane's men go behind those rocks.
Are you sure?
Positive. They must have landed their ship and are following to capture us.
Maybe we can beat them at their own game. Follow me. Don't let them guess we know they're trailing us.
one, Black.
Nice going, buddy. Done like a major. How many of you on the loose around here? How many?
There were 4 of us.
4, huh? Wilma. Wilma, keep him covered. Come on your feet. Come along, buddy. We've got a date for another surprise party.
Get up on your feet. Get him back around out of sight.
Stop where you are. Hand me that gun. Give it to me.
There's nothing else you can do, Wilma.
All right, let's get them back to the spaceship.
Patton, check the rockets on the other ship.
Do not move, any of you. Drop your weapons. You are from the Earth, are you not?
Yes, we came here to make a treaty.
It would be useless to explain to me. I am only a soldier acting under orders. 2 of you stay and guard the ship. The other 2 bring the others after me. Bring the others in the next car. You have nothing to fear from the Zugs. They are a primitive race and quite harmless. Unless we instruct them to be otherwise. This way, please.
Straight ahead.
Here are the prisoners you ordered me to bring in, sir.
I am Aldar, director of the Council of the Wives. I have had you brought here to explain your presence on Saturn. You may speak.
We came here as envoys.
seeking an alliance with you people of Saturn.
And why do you desire such an alliance?
To escape the tyranny of a man called Killer Kane, who's imposed his rule on all but a handful of us. A man who governs by brute force.
That's not true. The leader Kane is a just man. He rules with the consent of all save a few revolutionaries.
Revolutionaries?
Is it true that you are revolutionaries?
In a sense, I suppose we are. If it's revolutionary to protest against brutality.
I have had enough. Rebels or not, I say throw them all into prison. Saturn wants no contact with outside planets.
But in this age of science, we cannot hope to isolate ourselves from the rest of the universe. But we are dedicated to peace and have no patience with rebels.
Then why not form an alliance with our government and help us stamp out this rebellion?
The point is well made. We'll imprison the revolutionaries and treat with the envoys of the leader Kane.
When I jump tail and run for the sliding panel.
But we can't escape the guards.
We'll have to try.
Throw the others in prison.
One wrong move from any of you, and you'll lead a new council of the wise.
Seize him!
I can cut off the power. Get my car. Get my private car.
What is it, Buck?
Somebody's cut the power.
There's no way out of here either. Say, Buck, I saw Tally use a force gun on Alaska. I don't suppose there's enough power to move this car.
I don't know. We'll soon find out.
Wilma, come over here.
It's going to work, buddy. It was a good idea.
But how can we follow them with the power cut off?
This is my private car, and it has an auxiliary motor.
Spaceships are over there.
What about those awful Zug guards?
Take care of them with this gun. They may be inside. We'll take the ship with the door open. Stand where you are. I'll fire.
Buck, don't shoot. I don't think he understands you.
Buck, you've killed them.
No, it was only a demi-charge. Just knocked them out. Hurry, get back to the ship.
Take the controls, Buck. I'll fire the starting rockets.
Right. Dog down the door, buddy. See if all the portholes are closed.
After them in the other ship.
We'll do better than that.
Can you take this ship up alone?
I don't have to take it up. This radio and the one on their ship are tuned sympathetically. By setting this radio, I can automatically control their course and force them to crack up.
Better increase your rocket pressure, Wilma. We're losing altitude.
But I'm using enough now to take us to 100,000 feet.
The climbing fin is jammed.
They're bringing us down from the other ship. That's a dual radio control. They'll crash us unless we can break their reception.
Get back. Over here, buddy.
Boy, was that a close call. Well, I'd be glad to get back to Earth.
That's right where you're going, buddy.
Rogers must prevail on the Saturnians to lend them a spaceship to return to Earth.
That's no Saturnian craft, Doctor. It's one of Killer Kane's spaceships.
Impossible.
I know that type of ship too well to be mistaken. Have you tried to contact them on our wavelength?
As a matter of fact, I haven't.
Oh, we must do so at once. There's a spaceship at 274.6. Contact at once on our wavelength.
Yes, sir. Air Marshal calling spaceship on 274.6.
Gosh, Buck, I guess we'll be landing pretty soon, won't we?
That's right. I wish the radio was working so we could contact Dr. Hugh.
Well, that isn't necessary. I know the secret entrance to the hidden city. We better start using our retarding pressure.
Air Marshal calling spaceship on 274.6. I'm sorry, sir. There's no contact.
That proves it, Doctor. It is a Kane ship.
But I can't understand.
There's only one answer, Doctor. Wilma Rogers must have betrayed the secret entrance to the city.
There's the signal to open the gates. What shall I do, sir?
Open them and stand by to close them at my command.
Yes, sir.
They got our signal.
They're in the lock now, sir.
Close the gates on them and put all the power of the dynamos behind them.
The gates are jammed!
X minus 18 minutes.
Blood pressure slightly high. Nothing to be alarmed about, though. Quite understandable under the circumstance.
The weaker sex. The only one whose blood pressure is normal.
X minus 17 minutes.
We're due in the assembly hall in another minute. Shall we go? Good luck. Thank you, Doctor, and good night.
X minus 16 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, every news service and newspaper is represented here tonight. And for your cooperation in the past, when complete secrecy was vital, we are grateful. However, I must make something clear. Although ours is not strictly a military project, a great deal of our research and knowledge falls within security regulations. Therefore, I must insist that you reveal only such information as appears in the authorized press release, which will be handed to you later. I'm sure that we can all recall the wild tales of the flying discs, flying saucers, spaceships, and who knows what imaginative creations. The press is to be commended for discounting, in most instances, these premature rumors, and so helping to minimize public apprehension. Tonight, you are invited here to witness an important event. You are all familiar with our previous work in sending robot missiles into space. That phase is at an end. Tonight, we will launch the first manned spaceship, the RXM, Rocketship Expedition Moon.
X minus 15 minutes.
Forever, man has dreamed of visiting the nearest of heavenly bodies. Some for adventurous, fantastic reasons. Others, like ourselves, because they visualized a successful lunar expedition as the first step toward practical interplanetary travel. Today, there is even the possibility that an unassailable base could be established on the moon to control world peace. I will now introduce to you the head of this expedition and his crew, Dr. Carl Ekstrom, designer of the RXM, and as you all know, one of the most brilliant physicists of the day, and an old friend. Dr. Lisa Van Horn, his most able co-worker and assistant, Doctor of Chemistry. Colonel Floyd Graham, pilot. Mr. Harry Chamberlain, astronomer, of the Mount Wilson and Palomar Observatory staffs. Mr. Chamberlain will serve as navigator. Major William Corrigan, engineer. I shall now ask Dr. Ekstrom to outline the flight plan for you. Carl?
X minus 14 minutes.
The distance between the Earth and the Moon at its closest proximity is 238,000 miles. We expect to cover this distance in approximately 48 hours. The first phase of our flight will be the ascent to an altitude of 300 miles. From the start, while we pass through the troposphere and stratosphere, until we reach the ionosphere, the flight will be controlled by our automatic pilot. After we have climbed through the atmosphere, we will turn the rocket into a parallel course with the surface of the Earth. In flying parallel with the Earth's surface, we receive added boost from its rotation.
X minus 13 minutes.
The RXM is what is known as a multi-stage or step rocket. Upon reaching escape velocity, the tail section, which has housed the fuel to attain this speed, will be jettisoned. The nose section, which is a complete rocket containing enough fuel for the entire trip and also containing our cabin, overcomes the gravitational pull of the Earth and heads in the direction of the moon. After we have passed the equilibrium point where the Earth and the moon's gravities are in balance, we will reduce power to a minimum. The moon's attraction will carry us the rest of the way. Finally, we will reverse the rocket, utilizing the thrust of its motors to make our landing. A few more details which might interest you. The cabin is pressurized and gyro-controlled, keeping us in a level position at all times. We carry radar for navigation, shortwave for communication, and most important, more than twice the amount of fuel we expect to use to keep well within the margin of safety.
X minus 12 minutes.
We still have a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, for questions, if any of you care to put them.
Mr. Chamberlain, how do you fit into the picture? Do you have any family?
No, I've been living on mountaintops. I'm afraid it's too lonely for such opportunities.
Have you ever done any flying?
Only as a passenger.
But you're the navigator.
But you must realize that intersolar flight requires far more exact and precise navigation than any earthbound voyage.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's incidental.
It is?
Yes. You see, as an astronomer, I can appreciate the perfect observation conditions on a body without atmosphere, such as our moon. Do you realize that within 1 hour...
I've got about 800 head grazing down there. I bought my ranch with the flight pay I saved up during the war.
Mm-hmm. How does your wife feel about your going?
Well, she's a Texan, too, and well, she knows that when a Texas man makes up his mind to do something, that's it. Period. Say, I wish you fellas could have seen her face, so when I walked in and told her, in the strictest confidence, of course, honey, I'm going to the moon.
What did she say?
Well, she looked at me for a second and then said, what for? They ain't got nothing there that we don't have more of right here in Texas.
We've already made the trip 100 times.
What?
In the training room. Yeah, I've done more flying this last month than I've done in over 100 missions. And believe me, this is the hottest crew I've ever worked with, especially in the brains department.
Yeah, very attractive, too.
Yeah, I agree. But you can quote me on this. Unless you look like a test tube or a chemical formula, you haven't got a chance.
From the woman's angle, Dr. Van Horn, how does it feel making a trip like this alone with 4 men?
To tell you the truth, I never thought much about it.
Well, tell me, Doctor, is there any specific reason why one member of the crew should be a woman?
I'd like to answer that, if I may.
Certainly.
The reason Miss Van Horn is making this trip is because of her pioneering research with monatomic hydrogen. It enabled her to develop the first rocket fuel, powerful and concentrated enough to make this flight possible.
X minus 11 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pressed for time. You may view the takeoff from the observation bunker and return to this room immediately afterward. Everybody return here after the takeoff.
X minus 7 minutes.
Gyro control and compass okay.
Battery's all up, autopilot's okay, everything's in order.
Let's go. I've checked these calculations many times. They're perfectly correct. Oh, yes, all commercial flights have been detoured 100 miles south.
Thank you. Well, I can't think of anything we've overlooked. All we need now is a little luck.
It doesn't seem real that the moment finally has arrived after all these years.
Has been a long time.
A long time for 2 men to work together.
You remember when we started, what they called us?
Young crackpots.
Yes, and what are we now? Maybe just crackpots.
The only regret I have is that I must stay behind.
Your job is no less important, Robert.
I know, but still...
X minus 6 minutes.
Carl? Good luck. Good luck, everybody.
minus 5 minutes.
Better take one more look. We won't be as close as this to Mother Earth for some time.
We'll give the motors a final once-over.
X minus 4 minutes.
Motor room sealed.
Everything in order.
X minus 3 minutes.
No change in flight plans discussed. First 7 minutes of flight, controlled by automatic pilot.
Pilot's ready.
7 minutes, straight ascent.
Straight ascent from starting point.
Starting thrust using all tail assembly engines, 2,300 tons.
Right.
Fuel mixture?
Hydrogen and oxygen plus A12. After 120 seconds, hydrogen and oxygen plus A14. After 340 seconds, hydrogen plus A16.
After 560 seconds, A16.
Right.
Any questions?
X minus 2 minutes.
Good luck.
X minus 1 minute. X minus 50 seconds. X minus 40 seconds. X minus 30 seconds. X minus 20 seconds. X minus 10 seconds.
X minus 5 seconds. 4.
3, 2, 1, 0. Follow me, we will attempt to establish radio contact with the ship.
The human body can withstand these accelerations. It certainly was never meant to.
I feel like I was just tossed off a spooky bronc.
Are you all right, Doctor?
Oh, yes, can't hurt an old campaigner like me.
How about you? You all right?
Certainly.
Radar and gyro compass in order.
Automatic pilot okay.
Fuel consumption?
Normal.
Air pressure?
15 pounds.
Harry.
It's a marvelous sight, isn't it?
It is.
You can study maps and globes and try to visualize. But the actual experience, it's hard to express it.
Stand by to turn. Stand by. 4, 3, 2, turn.
Turn completed. Shipping level flight speed 3,400 miles per hour.
Altitude 360 miles.
How do we stand on fuel now?
3/10 supply left in tail section.
Mixture at present?
A16.
Harry, contact the base.
Right. RXM, calling BWS. RXM, calling BWS. Over.
Come in, RXM. Over to you.
Stand by, BWS.
Ekstrom speaking. We have leveled off at 360 miles altitude and are circling the globe at 3,400 miles per hour. We will increase speed gradually until we reach escape velocity of 25,000 miles per hour. Everyone aboard ship well. Over to you.
We'll be standing by.
5,500 miles.
Continue acceleration.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the night?
I'm afraid we ran right out of it.
If it's darkness you want, wait till we enter outer space, the realm of perpetual night.
6,000. 6,200 miles per hour.
Radar is tracking them perfectly. I had contact with them 4 minutes ago. Altitude 1,600 miles, speed 21,000 miles per hour, constantly increasing. They are about to reach escape velocity.
22,000.
Bill, check the pressurizing system and oxygen.
Right. Boy, this kind of weather makes me feel right at home. It's like a nice, cool night in East Texas.
24,000.
Take a reading the moment we attain escape velocity.
Yes.
Stand by. 25,000.
Prepare to jettison tail section.
Start the front assembly motors. Only 40 seconds supply of fuel left.
Hold on tight, everybody.
You ready?
Ready. Go.
Reduce power. That was a little too close for comfort.
We might be in a vacuum, but I sure felt the wind of that one.
Harry, contact the base again.
RXM calling BWS. Over.
Come in, RXM. Over to you.
Stand by, BWS.
We're on our way. We have jettisoned tail section and are now reducing power and speed according to plan until we come within the attraction of the moon. This probably last radio contact before return flight. Everybody aboard well.
BWS calling RXM. BWS calling RXM. Come in, RXM.
Ladies and gentlemen, We had hoped by having the entire press represented here tonight to eliminate any possible hearsay, rumor, or speculation from your reports. However, I regret to have to ask you to confine yourselves to the official news release. I promise to hand you any news that may come in as soon as it can be cleared.
I don't think I like all this dark. Well, it might be all right for sleeping, but for a steady diet,
I used to hate the daylight because I couldn't work. But up here in this eternal night, it's a different feeling.
Fella can get used to anything, I guess, if he has to. And I remember when I was first assigned to jets. I said to the colonel, Colonel, I joined this man's Air Force to fly an airplane, but nobody's going to hitch me to no Roman candle. Now I'm sitting right inside of one. Boy, oh boy. Ain't she pretty? Can you see Texas?
No, it's in the other hemisphere. Even so, from this distance, it would only appear a mere speck.
A mere speck? Texas a mere speck? Oh, now, listen, my friend, I'm broad-minded. I've been around people, but don't you ever let any other Texan hear you say that. A mere speck.
It's the funniest sensation. I feel like I'm walking in a cloud, no effort at all.
We're getting deeper in interplanetary space. Gravity will soon be practically non-existent.
Look, we got a stowaway aboard.
Hey, whoa. I need you.
Don't you think it's amusing?
There's nothing funny about that. Simply the lack of gravity.
Oh, of course, Dr. Van Hoare.
Better make sure our equipment's fastened down.
Now, don't get mad at me, but can't you ever relax? All these weeks, months, I've been watching you. Nothing but work, work, work. Well, I've been wondering, how does a girl like you get mixed up in a thing like this in the first place?
I suppose you think that women should only cook and sew and bear children?
Isn't that enough? There's such a thing as going overboard in the other direction, too, you know. If you know what's
I'll check the engines.
Bill, pressurize the motor room first.
Motor room pressure up.
Still drifting. After 14 hours and 12 minutes, we've covered 112,000 miles. We'll come within the gravitational attraction of the moon.
Oh, that's not important right now. Without power, we're helplessly suspended in space. Even if we were already within the gravitational reach, we'd still be unable to make a landing. We need power to land.
Checked and double-checked all connections. Primers, fuel injectors. Can't find a thing wrong.
And it must be the fuel mixture.
How much oxygen do we carry?
Don't worry. We have plenty left for the trip.
For the trip as planned, you mean?
If you don't mind. At differential 6 over m to the 30th power, the halfway check result is 262,000 to 341,000, both using tangent E, correct?
That isn't the result I have.
It must be the same. There's an error there.
I've made no error, Dr. Ekstrom.
I have to say that you made an error and discard your figures. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Surely you're not going to let emotion enter into this.
Certainly not.
We'll continue computing using my results as a basis.
Yes, Doctor. Except that I feel very strongly, I should say, that we should try both.
We can't. To complete either calculation would take 6 to 8 hours. We can't afford the time. It's either one or the other, Dr. Van Horn.
But it doesn't have to be. You can't be arbitrary about imposing your will when these people's lives are at stake. Don't you realize that? You speak as calmly as if you were saying pass the salt. Aren't you human? Are you made of ice? I'm sorry. I apologize.
For what? For momentarily being a woman? It's completely understandable, Miss Van Horn. Now, shall we go ahead?
Yes, Doctor.
Tangent L9.
Tangent L9.
Hello? Yes?
It's Dr. Hurley at Mount Palomar.
Yes, Dr. Hurley? Yes?
We located the RXM's position at 7:16 this morning. Since then, there has been very little change. Apparently, their velocity is far lower than we anticipated.
Are you sure, Doctor? Thank you. Between the worlds. It cut him like a knife.
What?
Oh, nothing. It's a line from Kipling's Tomlinson. The poem about the chap, someone in our fix. He couldn't get into heaven or hell. Suspended in space.
Would you do something for me, please?
Sure.
I need those 2 graphs under Dr. Ekstrom's arm. I'm tired and shaky. I might awaken him.
I know the feeling.
I wouldn't rob him of his sleep for anything.
I knocked over a 10-foot Christmas tree once, all decorated, at my cousin's house, just from trying to do something when I was too tired. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Kids woke up, came rushing in. First they thought I was Santa Claus lying there with a busted tinsel star on my nose. I spoiled everything.
Yes.
take a minute off from that. You're worn out.
I can't.
You'll think clearer if you do. When I was flying in the war, we had a guy like you in some of our long missions. Too bad.
Too bad?
Blew his top. We had to put him in Section 8. Held it in too long. Never let down a second.
You're right. I'm not even thinking straight anymore. Numbers buzz in my head like wasps. I ought to think of something different.
How about that? Something no human being ever saw before.
You know, it's funny. One never thinks of the Earth that way. As a dying planet with nothing to give out but reflected light. A mere moon.
You don't speak so disrespectfully of the moon. Mere moon. I've done some of my best work by moonlight. Found its light very effective.
For navigation?
For any purpose. Don't underrate it. Moonlight's potent.
You're speaking of its effect on men and women?
On women. I don't need this stuff myself.
Oh. You're immune?
No. Just don't need it. But did you ever park in an open convertible on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific? On a warm summer night when a big moon hung up there like a lantern? The blue light from it walking across the water. Radio playing a nice tune. Waves whooshing on the beach.
No, perhaps unfortunately, I never had the time nor the thought to do anything much beyond my profession.
Now, don't tell me that you never looked at that old moon except for astronomical reasons.
You're right. I have. In Rome once, and in Switzerland, at Lake Lugano. What a nice stroll.
Stroll?
Yes. Yes, we walked slowly around the edge of the lake for 2 hours.
And never stopped?
No.
Well, everybody to his own taste.
It was lovely there. The water black like cold coffee. The moonlight like flecks of ice cream floating on it. The music from the hotel ballroom. Oh, but that was so long ago. Another world. Fine scientist I am.
What?
Daydreaming.
It's good for you once in a while.
I suppose it is, but not now.
I still say it.
Say what?
That moonlight's effective stuff.
You're quite right.
What effect a double dose like this would have on a convertible? Nothing. Skip it.
Meteorites!
I've been through some pretty heavy flak in my day, but that's the worst I've ever had thrown at me. Heavenly flak. Say, maybe somebody don't want us to get where we aim to get. Oh, cheer up, Harry. After what we've been through, we'll get there all right.
Maybe it'd have been better if one of them had struck the ship. Must have been sudden. Quick.
Now, your computation?
We have to add 12% O3 to A16.
Right. 12% O3 to A16. This means we'll have to rearrange some of the fuel tanks and all the connections. Now, we'll replace these H tanks with these.
Well, the motor room's pressurized.
Think you can manage a half-ton tank?
Oh, sure. Down on my ranch, I used to throw a little old 1,000-pound steer over my shoulder every morning.
Sure that wasn't a little old bull you were throwing.
All right, Sampson, let's see you do your stuff.
Think I was kidding, huh?
You'll never prove it to me here.
Doctor, can we be quite sure these proportions are safe? We never proved them by experiment.
The mathematical theory is beyond question.
O3, though. Sometimes it behaves unpredictably.
Woman's intuition again?
12% O3 to A16.
12% O3 to A16.
Our chart deviation is 32 degrees. Present position is...
We'll correct course when we're in powered flight once more.
Right.
All ready?
Ready. Stand by, everybody.
That again, Dr. Hurley. Are you certain? Yes. Yes, I see. Thank you. They are completely off their course. Moving with incredible velocity. Out into limitless space. I can't understand it.
Lloyd. Lloyd. Lloyd.
You all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right. Harry. Harry.
We're not getting enough oxygen.
No. Bill! Bill! Dr. Ekstrom! Dr. Ekstrom! Dr. Ekstrom!
How long has it been since...
I'm afraid we'll never know.
How are the others?
I think everybody's going to be all right.
Must have been days.
Fortunately, the engines were turned off.
When?
I must have turned the levers off when I blacked out.
But at what speed? You know the consequences of a body moving with unchecked velocity in free space.
Infinite motion.
So we made a little detour. Now we gotta double back that last road sign. Come on, let's go to work.
Try to determine our present velocity if possible.
Can't be. The instruments must have gone crazy.
I don't think so. By heading into space, we've added the Earth's orbital velocity to our own.
Then we're really moving.
I should say at least several times the maximum speed of your indicator. Any progress, Harry?
Should at least have an approximation of our position very shortly.
Fuel consumption?
In just a moment.
Doctor.
What?
I cut in resistances to raise the scale. But look.
Acceleration. Definite acceleration, but with the motors off, that's impossible unless...
This can't be correct.
What?
I seem to be getting a strong reflection of impulse directly ahead 50,000 miles.
That explains it.
Explains what?
Of course. Unbelievable. It couldn't be mere chance. I don't quite know how to tell you it so. If I could have even dreamed that an incredible set of circumstances, each precisely and exactly timed, would carry us unerringly through space to our most congenial planetary neighbor, Mars, I would...
Mars?
It's utterly unbelievable.
No doubt whatsoever. Unmistakable.
Mars? What do you know?
What does it mean, Doctor?
It means there are times when a mere scientist has gone as far as he can. When he must pause and observe respectfully while something infinitely greater assumes control. I believe this is one of those times.
We shall go on, of course.
Our overall fuel consumption was
42%.
a Martian landing. Approaching a planet with atmosphere is far easier than the lunar maneuver. Certainly we shall go on. We should be betraying an unprecedented opportunity to do otherwise.
And I'd suggest there's a couple of little things we might do. This ship isn't going to land itself, you know.
Mars. I'll be darned.
We must first compute the correct thrust and fuel mixture to comply with anticipated conditions.
Escape velocity, 12,500 miles an hour. Oxygen at surface level, 15%.
Prepare to change to parallel course at distance 1,500 miles.
Right.
I've located them.
Located what?
The Earth and Moon.
Well, where are they?
Here, take a look.
And what do you know about that?
Is it all right to call Texas a mere speck now?
As we are now in parallel flight, we are reducing speed and altitude. At 50 miles altitude, we will execute a turn of 90 degrees, bringing the rocket into landing position. Since the gravitational attraction of Mars is only half as powerful as that of Earth, a thrust of 1,200 tons will be sufficient to make the landing. Fuel?
Hydrogen and oxygen plus A12.
Altitude 70 miles. 65. 60. 55 miles.
Stand by to turn.
50.
Turn.
90-degree turn completed.
Reduce power.
Altitude 40 miles. 38 miles.
I only hope the light holds out. It's getting dark down below. Prepare to increase thrust at altitude 15 miles. It's getting darker rapidly. But as far as I can make out, the terrain is suitable for landing.
Altitude 6 miles. 5 miles. 20,000 feet. 18,000.
Thrust at present, 1,250 tons.
Stand by to increase power.
15,000. 12,000. 10,000. 8,000. 7,000. 6,000.
We're losing altitude too fast. Increase thrust to 3,000 tons.
4,000 feet. 3,000. 2,000 feet.
Reduce thrust slowly to 1,250 tons.
1,000. 500.
Save the engines. Nice work, Floyd. Mars extending us a welcome. Now we're prepared to disembark first thing in the morning. In the meantime, we can rest and get our equipment ready.
Well, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah, I've been itching to get into one of these things.
Sorry to disappoint you, Bill. We have atmosphere here. We won't need pressure suits. Which works greatly in our favor, too. We can accomplish so much more unencumbered. As far as equipment's concerned, we'll take oxygen masks, camera, paraphernalia.
What about data for the return trip? It must be exact and precise. Hadn't we better begin preparation?
Yes, of course, you're right. We have so little time here. Such an opportunity. Let's think about that for a little while first. ahead. Notice the abundant coloration? Green, orange, yellow, black.
A sign of tremendous mineralization.
Manganese, copper, nickel, pitch blende. Immense deposits of pitch blende.
You figuring on staking out a claim here?
Just making sure we can find our way back.
All we've seen so far is rock and sand, sand and rocks. I wonder when we're going to run across some of these Martians. You know, from what I read, they've got pale faces and pinheads and fishy eyes.
Shall we go? mind that conceived this must have been of a high order of intelligence, at least the equal of Earth, perhaps considerably above ours.
To think that a complex, organized society existed here once.
Yes, from all indications, thousands of years ago.
I wonder how it happened.
There's always the possibility of a meteor. But then it would have created a depression like a moon crater.
No, this wasn't caused by a meteor. This is definitely blast effect coupled with intense heat.
There's a strong field of radiation over there.
You'd better stop. The radioactivity is at the danger level. Ironic, isn't it? The mind of man, highest attainments of human intellect, always diverted to self-destruction. Perhaps the entire surface of the planet is one vast ruin, like this.
Well, do you think we ought to start back to the ship?
I agree to that. We're neither prepared nor equipped for any stay here.
We have supplies for several days. Let's use this precious time as effectively as we can.
I agree with Dr. Ekstrom. A day here is more valuable than years of research on Earth.
Well, okay then, let's get going.
What a lesson here for our world. One blast, thousands of years of civilization wiped out.
Could there have been any survivors?
I should hate to think so. We still don't know all the genetic effects of radiation, but that it will produce mutations, malformities, disfigurements, blindness, that much we're sure of from research. A blast like this, I should hate to think that any survived.
Why don't you try to get some rest?
If I ever get back to Texas, I'll know better than to leave again. Yes, sir.
Bill. Lloyd, Dr. Ekstrom. There were men out there. Look, you gotta believe me. It wasn't a nightmare. I haven't slept at all. I tell you, I saw them.
Where?
Right out there. And when I yelled, they disappeared.
All right, let's go see.
Right here. And when they heard me, they disappeared in there.
Dr. Ekstrom, look at these footprints.
It don't take a Navajo to figure out what caused these.
It's hard to believe.
But now maybe you'll agree to return to the ship.
We can't stop now. We must follow. Find out what kind of creatures they are. It's tremendously important.
We don't know how many there are. And suppose they're hostile with one rifle and a pistol. We won't have a prayer.
That's the chance we have to take. You wait here. I'm going ahead.
This kind of thing's just my meat. Mind if I come along?
Thank you, Bill.
I'm with you, Doctor.
No, Floyd, you three stay.
But
I'll have to make that in order. Come on, Bill. atomic age to Stone Age.
Dale!
Dr. Ekstrom.
Where's Bill?
Murdering savages.
No, Floyd. Poor, fear-crazed, despairing wretches. Pity them. Pity them.
Don't talk anymore.
You must get back to Earth. Tell them what we found. Maybe this will...
Look out!
I wish Harry were able to help. It's impossible to get a precise result without radar.
You've done a wonderful job.
We should have fuel enough for a landing.
When will we feel the Earth's gravity?
As soon as there's an increase in speed. According to elapsed time and velocity chart, almost any minute now. But without a check from Harry, it's...
I know we're in a tight spot, but we'll manage somehow.
Any sign of increase in speed?
Not yet. You know, you're a pretty swell girl, Lisa.
Girl? I'm not Dr. Van Horn anymore?
No, just Lisa.
Doing her job.
No, I don't see you that way at all. I see a woman sweet, gentle, and beautiful.
I'm not the same?
Somehow, no.
But I am, you know. The same, I mean.
Well, maybe I've changed then, but I feel that I've never known you before.
Will you, do something for me, please?
Sure, what?
Say my name the way you did a moment ago.
Lisa.
RXM calling BWS. RXM calling BWS. Come in, BWS. Over. Come in, BWS. I can't contact them. They won't answer. They won't ever answer.
Of course they will.
Speed's increasing. We're gonna make it. Shut off the fuel.
I'm sorry. I wish I could help.
You heard what Floyd said. Everything will be all right.
What about the fuel? We lost so much.
Yes. Well, we'll have enough for a landing.
How are we doing?
Not so good.
Well, what's the matter? Everything's worked out so far, right in the nose.
We haven't got enough fuel for a landing. Not even for an approach.
But the motors were functioning perfectly before I shut them off.
At 1/10 capacity. I'm sorry, it's all my fault.
Maybe it's only the instruments.
It's hopeless. We are lost. Everything is lost. All Dr. Ekstrom's work in vain. Now the world will never know the terrible truth we learned.
No. Maybe there's still a chance. We must be close enough for shortwave. Try to contact the base.
If we only could. We must report everything. Tell them as much as we can. What we saw. The mistakes that we made.
RXM calling BWS. RXM calling BWS.
Dr. Fleming. Yes? The radio control room just called. They've contacted the RXM.
There's too much interference. You better use these, Doctor.
BWS. Fleming speaking. Calling RXM. Come in, RXM. Repeat that again, please, Dr. Van Horn. What about Dr. Ekstrom?
Now at least they know. Lloyd, hold me. Hold me tight.
I wish I knew some words that would help.
I'm sorry that we haven't had any time. That we didn't meet or know each other the way we do now sooner.
Time isn't so important.
Oh, yes, yes, it is.
Don't. We can say that time is behind us, that we've had years together.
Yes.
I can tell you about 1,000 wonderful hours we've spent together, because I feel we would have, inevitably. And there's not that much difference between the future and the past.
Not if you feel this way about it, no. Shouldn't we wake him?
What good would it do?
None, you're right.
It's only seconds, darling. Try not to be afraid.
Lloyd, I'm not afraid anymore. Something happened, like a great wave carrying us up, bearing us, protecting us.
Dr. Fleming?
Yes?
The men from the news syndicates are still waiting.
All right, let them come in.
Dr. Fleming, the pilot and crew of Flight 19 International Airlines observed a strange object falling over Nova Scotia. According to their report, it could have been the RXM.
My office has been getting the same story over the wires for hours.
We know the RXM has been overdue a long time. Is there any connection, Doctor?
As yet, there has been no confirmation, but yes, I believe there is a connection.
Then they all perished in the crash.
No, 2 were lost earlier.
But the flight must be considered a failure.
Failure? Every point of our rocket theory has been established. It has proven that interspace travel is not only possible, but practicable. And it has supplied us with information which may well mean the salvation of our own world. No, gentlemen, the flight of the RXM was not a failure. Tomorrow we start construction of RXM-2.
Show starts in 8 minutes. Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. Promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 7 minutes.
It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now. Show starts in 6 minutes.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Father, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith, and there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Show starts in 5 minutes.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
Show starts in 4 minutes.
Visit our snack bar and treat yourself to some delicious Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches. Cook the Castleberry way, slowly over open pits of glowing charcoal, then seasoned with a sauce that's zesty, yet delightfully mild to please the entire family. Also at the snack bar, you'll find popcorn and soft drinks and candy and French fries to go with your Castleberry's barbecue sandwiches. There's plenty of time before the movie starts, so visit our snack bar right now for Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches.
Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime.
Show starts in 3 minutes. Show starts in 2 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater.
And now, on with the show.
This is a story not yet told. It begins on a warm evening some years hence, when high on a mountaintop in Southern California, a giant telescope searches the heavens for the secrets there contained.
You can't see it with the naked eye, but the micrometer shows it clearly. There's no question of the change in altitude. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Miss.
Linda.
Hello, Doctor.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
They certainly tuck you in up here. Wouldn't even let us into the viewing room.
They've classified the sky top secret now. Lewis, ask Felder to develop these as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Bolting. This is Chris Cronin, Mrs. Cronin, my assistant, Dr. Bolting.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's nice meeting you.
Well,
I hope you don't mind my tagging along.
Oh, not in the least. We're very happy to have you. May I take your coat? You know, I expected you to be older. You are the radio man.
If you think of yourself as the guy with the spyglass.
I really walked right into that. I didn't mean it quite as it sounded. But do you seriously believe that you've established contact with Mars?
Well, you take pictures of it. Why shouldn't I talk to it?
Bolting.
Yes.
There's no question they have diminished in size. There's no knowing what tonight's pictures may show. We may learn more about Mars in the next few minutes.
So that's the baby in person.
It's so clear, it's unbelievable.
This is the first picture. We took it a week ago tonight. See, here are the indentations I told you about. They couldn't be plainer. And all going from north to south.
What are they?
Canals, what else? Traversing the entire planet.
And these big shadows, here and here.
Now you know how New York or Chicago would look if photographed from Mars.
And look at those mountains at the pole. They must be as high as the Rockies.
How do you tell they're mountains?
There have to be. What else would throw such deep shadows?
Dr. Mitchell, what puzzles me is that you've had the giant telescope for years. Why are you just getting these pictures now?
Mars's journey around the sun is an elliptical curve. Let me show you. Now at perihelion, about 35 million miles from Earth instead of the usual 63.
What's this one?
Same angle, same exposure 5 nights ago.
See any difference?
Should I?
Well, what have you got?
I don't know. I can't believe it.
Well,
the mountains are gone. And the poles are level.
You can't wipe out mountains taller than the Rockies in the space of a week.
Bolting. Look at the canals.
They're different. Now they reflect light like mirrors.
Water reflects light.
Well, so does any other. Are you saying you think those pole formations are ice? And that in a week, these Martians have melted ice caps thousands of feet high and used the water to irrigate the planet?
Isn't that what the picture says?
But that's impossible. There's no way to.
Oh, there has to be. Why, they've done it. If we could just once ask them how.
I thought you'd already established contact.
Oh, it's Mars I'm getting my signal from right enough, but how do I give that signal meaning? How do I find a means of communication? Come on, Lynn, let's get going. There's still time to send a signal.
You're going to broadcast tonight?
After seeing these? What do you think?
One man who takes pictures, another who believes he can talk over 35 million miles. It's like having a grandstand seat for the creation of the world.
Or it's death.
Where are you going, Lynn?
Just want to have a look at the kids. Everything looks peaceful.
Hi, son. But we'll be over at the lab. Don't stay up too late.
Chris. Don't send a message tonight.
What's got into you, Linda? Ever since you saw those pictures, you've
Fear,
been...
Chris. Always eating fear. The whole world's scared. Why shouldn't I be? Every woman in the world, we all live in fear. It's become our natural state. Fear our sons will have to fight another war, or fear they'll face worse. We've lived on the edge of a volcano all our lives. One day it has to boil over.
Me talking to Mars won't affect Vesuvius, Lynn.
Chris, how can you be so sure? Don't you understand? Science has made the volcano we're sitting on. Nobel invented dynamite to ease man's life. It's eased a good many into annihilation. Einstein split the atom to create energy. Is terra energy?
Well, that's rubbish, Lynn. Scientifically, we've advanced further in the past 60 years than we have in the previous 2,000. Radio, television, automobile, aeroplane, atomic fission, jet propulsion. And now, well, you saw those pictures tonight, heard what Mitchell said? If we can once talk to Mars, we may be talking to brains as far ahead of ours as ours are ahead of monkeys. In one moment, we may be able to leap ahead another 2,000 years.
And you'll have done it. You'll be the next to advance science. And maybe us. Right into oblivion!
Linda.
I'm sorry, Chris. But when I saw those pictures tonight, it all seemed too imminent.
Well, sure it's imminent. It's what we worked for, isn't it? Why we built this lab, assembled the transmitter. It's why we've worked together all these years.
They've been good years, Chris.
Well, they've been great years. But what do you want me to do now? Get a crummy research job in some plant? Maybe in 20 years get a paper published in some scientific magazine? Now, when we're on the verge of accomplishing everything we've worked for?
All right, Chris. I'm ready.
What do I say? That if I thought anything we're doing could boomerang against you or the kids, I'd blow up the whole works? You know that. But it can't hurt anyone. Whatever's been done, we've done together, Linda. Well, I don't believe harm can come from anything those hands have had a part in, that's all.
All right, Chris. Let's go. Who am I to stand in the way of science?
did you get here? How did you track me down?
Stop acting like a fool.
Get out of here! I told you not to follow me.
You were supposed to keep in touch with me by shortwave. The seal isn't even broken.
I have nothing to report. What are you doing here? Answer me!
You said you would establish contact with Mars. That was your commitment.
I'm trying.
We are not paying you to try, Mr. Calder. We expect results. And you might have had results if you had done as I asked. Conduct your experiments at our laboratories at Berezovo, where we could have supplied you with skilled assistance. Instead of which you buried yourself here in the Andes, alone. No one to assist you.
You mean no one to watch over me? Thank you. I've had one taste of jail.
I don't know why you complain. We extricated you, we helped you. We want scientists of your caliber, Mr. Calder. We treat them well when they serve us.
Serve? Are you talking to me? I don't owe you anything.
You owe us your freedom. It was the Americans who threw you into jail and our men who helped you to escape. Not to mention all this equipment which you have piled up. This was an investment. Now we demand an accounting.
I'm not a bookkeeper.
We don't make investments with no returns. You know our policy.
Are you trying to frighten me?
We had an agreement. It is my responsibility to see that it is carried out.
You're threatening me with extermination, huh? Is that the policy you refer to?
You find the idea amusing?
Highly. You won't harm me. You need me. Think they have humbled me, huh? Bringing me, Franz Calder, to this. Cringing, hiding. Just another rat in his hole. But all this won't last. The rat will come out, and then the world will listen. You want a report? I'll give you one. You can tell your masters that I've failed in my experiments. I've not been able to establish contact with Mars. Their money's been wasted.
It is not a report they will appreciate.
Still, they won't exterminate me.
Of that, I wouldn't be too sure.
Because you can also tell them that the Americans who stole my valve have succeeded. They have established contact with the Red Planet.
Wait outside.
Are you serious? Newspapers will tell you as much in a few days. It's not in the American character to keep silent about success.
But that's incredible that they should actually...
Why? You expected it from me.
But you said that your equipment was the best in the world, that no one could duplicate your developments.
I forgot the 7-year start the American had on me. 7 years while I was in jail. 7 years.
Don't let's start that again. What shall I report?
What can you report? That the Americans also want the secrets of a wiser civilization so that they can turn them into new methods of destruction?
How do you know all this?
Because I'm the one other person with a hydrogen valve. I alone can pick up their signals and the replies.
Then you can give us the questions they put to Mars and the answers they receive.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I can laugh at your threats. Do you still want to kill me?
Oh, don't talk like that. Nobody is threatening you. You're invaluable to us. It's not who gets the information first, but who first puts it to use. Oh, my dear friend. You must let me send you a less monotonous diet.
My diet's already taken care of. I did not spend all your money on equipment.
Is there anything else you need?
Yes, one thing. Let's drink to it.
Well, by all means, my dear fellow. What is it?
Your absence.
Thank you very much, comrade. Considerate of you, leading us to his lair. Clever of you, dragging him down all on the strength of a single phrase.
He thought himself so clever with his, "You can find me only through finding Christ."
You dropped your bunny rabbit.
What was that outburst?
He woke up and couldn't find his rabbit.
Thanks. I guess I better get the...
Here's your carbona.
Oh. How'd you know we'd need this?
Did you two ever start a project and not need it?
She's pretty smart, huh? Hey, Mom, I got a TL for you.
I could use one.
Remember when the parents came to visit our class?
One of my grimmest memories.
All the fellas decided that you were the youngest-looking mother there.
Isn't that nice?
Boy, you should have seen those other crows.
That did it. Now clean away this mess and get started on
your homework.
Right.
Gosh, I only got my math to do, and you know I don't want to fuss over that.
Well, before you pin any medals on yourself, an extra hour on history wouldn't hurt. At that, you're no genius.
Well, you can't have everything.
Oh, heavens, who's coming?
Probably Mitchell to find out if Mars had anything intelligible to say.
I'll get it.
Is Mr. Cronin in?
I'm Cronin. I'm Bill Carey. This is no time to barge in on you like this, but your reports didn't reach my desk until this morning, and I flew right out.
My reports brought you out?
Oh, we grasp at any straw to get out of Washington for 24 hours.
Please come in, Admiral.
Thank you.
I'm Linda Cronin.
How do you do, Miss Cronin?
Forgive the mess, but all major mechanical projects seem to get started in the living room. This is our son, Stuart.
Hiya, fella. Sit down, Admiral. Get some more ice, will you, son? Stuart, you will have a drink, won't you? Well, at this hour, I can't claim the sun's not over the yardarm.
Are you the Admiral Kerr who broke the Japanese code?
My one claim to fame. But confidentially, wasn't a very good code.
Come on, Stu.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. We didn't know if you'd even bother with our show here.
Rose to it like a marlin. But what beats me, if you are getting messages from Mars, how have you kept it out of the paper?
Well, we're not getting any messages. Not yet.
Darn close to it if your reports stand up.
Oh, if we ever do get messages, understandable ones, that is, they'll be given out. 4 years of Navy gave me my belly full of hush-hush.
I can understand that.
So far, all we're getting are repetitions of our own signals coming back at us.
Now, these answers you get.
Please sit down.
These answers you get, couldn't they be your own signals bouncing off some object in outer space? Some other planet? Booming back at you? I'm no authority on electronics, but
I am. No, this is no bounce back. As I told you, we transform sound into light. And the speed of light is 186,000 miles a second. So you divide the distance to Mars by the speed of light, and you get the length of time it takes our light waves to reach Mars. Double that, and you get the time it takes our messages to come back. Now, that could all be mechanical, but they don't come back in that exact number of minutes. It never takes less time, always more. 20 seconds, 40 seconds, sometimes as much as a minute and a half.
Sometimes, like tonight, for instance, we get no answer. An echo will always sound, but sometimes the human brain sleeps.
But why always the same signal back? Why never anything you can hang on to?
Well, because I'm too stupid to give them a lead. That's why I yelled for help.
Well, this is no picnic you've asked me on. You don't even know what language they speak, if any. It's like working out a system of communication with gollywogs. How the devil to find a point of contact?
How about pie?
That's hardly the way to offer it, Stu. And by the size of that slice, I doubt if there's anything left.
I mean pie.
Now, what are you talking about?
Well, if we're getting answers, they have to have a transmitter as powerful as ours.
Go on, what are you driving at?
Well, they can't build anything like that unless they know how to make a wheel. That means a circle.
And you can't make a circle without knowing the ratio of the diameter to the circumference. Pi.
I still don't understand what that has to do with...
Your son's ahead of you, Cronin. What is pi?
3.1416, as I remember.
Roughly.
That's it, roughly. Actually, it's 3.141592 and so on, an infinite number of decimals.
Well, so what? We broadcast 3.1416 to Mars, and what can they answer?
Nothing. But they must be trying as hard to talk to you as you're straining to talk to them. All they're looking for is an opening. So, you don't broadcast 31416. You broadcast 31415.
And if they understand, they continue the equation.
Right.
Where'd you get that idea, son?
Biting into this.
Come on, let's get over to the lab and try it on right now.
Aren't you coming?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just the babysitter around here.
If this comes off, I'll wake you when we come in.
What makes you think I'll be asleep?
3, 1, 4, 1, 5. 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Shut it off. What do we do now?
The blasted waiting's always the worst part.
How long?
3 minutes, 8 seconds each way. 6 minutes, 16 seconds all told. Plus the time it takes them to answer, if they answer.
You know, this is going to be the longest 6¼ minutes I ever spent.
You light that pipe, Admiral, and if Chris's hydrogen doesn't blow you up, he will.
Always the danger of a leak and no way of telling it. Hydrogen's odorless.
I told you I was no authority on electronics. What's the hydrogen for?
Well, the hydrogen sufficiently pressurized can be brought down to a temperature of about 451 degrees below zero. And nobody knows why, but sound waves can be picked up at that temperature that would be otherwise completely inaudible. And now certain minerals also have incredible acoustic properties. Quartz, for instance. Now, that's what this valve is made of. And we warp it with a pressurized hydrogen. It gives us the energy for a power transmission 1,000 times greater than any sound transmitter ever conceived.
There it is. The red planet Mars. For over 2,000 years, the symbol for war. And we dare to fly in the face of Providence and try to bring it closer to us.
Sometimes my wife is less than enthusiastic about this project.
I'm sorry. Darling, if nothing happens tonight, don't be too disappointed.
It's got to happen. It's just got to happen. We've waited so blasted long.
I know, but if it doesn't...
Poor Linda with all her silly fears. And you hope it doesn't happen, really?
You know what beats me? I just can't believe that you people really assembled all this yourself.
No, we got a slight assist from the Carnegie Foundation.
You realize if this comes off by this time tomorrow, you'll be the most famous man in the world?
Funny, none of the credit's mine. Actually, it all belongs to a German scientist, a criminal, a brilliant criminal, with nothing but hate in his heart.
What do you mean?
Did you ever hear of Franz Calder?
Calder? Calder?
Do you remember the famous quotation, "The human being is the best guinea pig"?
High voltage experiments on the human nervous system, the Nazi criminal.
He invented the valve. I found the blueprints at Nuremberg. It's taken us all the years since then to build a transmitter capable of spanning the enormous distance. And we've been broadcasting for 8 months, first without success, and now...
The last 3 weeks.
We've been getting answers.
Well, you're not going to give Calder any of the credit.
Why not? It's his valve. The devil's entitled to his due. 2 minutes to go.
I wonder what kind of a world we're opening the door on.
You'd wonder even more if you saw the pictures of Mars that we saw last night. Ice caps, thousands of feet high, melted away in a few days. Oh, those people must use atomic power as we use water. If we had that power, why, the largest liner would cross the ocean on the energy contained in one lump of coal.
Mm-hmm. Then what would happen to the people who own and work coal mines?
Well, what happened to the people who owned or worked on canals when the railroad started?
Still, Mr. Calder will have had his effect on the world.
Wonder where he is now.
Where are all good scientists we don't hear of? In Russia, I suppose.
10 seconds to go. Switch out the lights, will you, darling?
Three, 1, 4, 1, 5, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5.
Our own signal back, the same blasted story.
Chris, look!
9, 2.
Linda, we've done it.
Dear Lord, don't make us sorry.
So far, Cronin is sticking to the establishment of mathematical and chemical formulas. Very ingenious. We're able to frame a few questions.
I read all that in the papers. What about you? Have you contacted Mars yourself?
You're a fool, Eugenian. If I can read their messages, they can read mine. Why should I let them know that they have competition?
And so, what only 2 weeks ago was a secluded laboratory in the San Diego mountains has become the new center of the world. Scientists, code experts, newsmen, all concentrated on only one thing, the first concrete word from Mars.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up closer. I want to introduce you to the keyhole of Mars. Now, I have the only authentic, genuine picture of the planet Mars. What a thrill. What a fun. To send home to those people. All right, folks. Come on, folks. Get moving, please.
Come home, folks, to planet Mars. They're educational and constructive.
Hi, Doc. Give him a rocket.
Hi, Mr. Cronin. Been to town?
Yeah, just down to see how the press camp's coming along. They've got to put up 2 more buildings. Stewart wanted to see Admiral Kerr and his staff at work.
Hey, Doc, any names up there on Mars? Martians, however you say.
Итак, всего неделю тому назад еще никому неизвестный молодой американский ученый по фамилии Христофор Кронин, живущий и работающий в своей лаборатории близ города Сан-Диего в Калифорнии, стал центром внимания всего цивилизованного мира. Это событие впервые за все время своего существования Земля
And so the weeks of preparatory work are over. Communication with Mars is now a reality. Tonight has brought us the first real information about life on that distant planet. They were asked the average lifespan on Mars. Their answer, 300 Earth years.
That
300 years?
I hope not your mother.
Our regular program.
Pensions for 235 years. Who's going to pay them?
Of the livestock industry is at stake.
Is the government going to continue to support the price of potatoes?
Just a minute. How about the price of wheat?
The hysteria which has greeted the Martians' claims has become a national peril. All this after the release of only 3 messages. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot too strongly stress the necessity for calmness. Do not allow yourselves to be emotionally disturbed by those messages.
Genius. This time you'd better get your masters on the phone. Cronin's just received a message from Mars. That's a sensation.
The Martians have now announced that for the past 3 centuries, they haven't used coal, oil, electricity, any form of power on which we rely. Theirs has all been provided by cosmic energy, through which they have made hundreds of elements fissionable.
If this is true, no miner in America, no miner in the world will have a job.
Our interests are identical. We owners represent an investment of $5 billion.
It took Mars to make you recognize that identity of interest.
Well, the oil men are in the same boat with us.
And let them bail it out. Oil is no concern of ours.
Keeps up, you'll need the army to help you. Quick, get going! That's right enough! Get out of
Hi, Dad. You just in time for the news.
I've had enough news for one day.
Meanwhile, this morning, every American bank had long lines of depositors waiting to withdraw their funds. Owing to the difference in time, the latest bulletin from Mars had created its effect on Europe before we Americans had finished our breakfasts. In London, the Prime Minister called a special meeting of the Cabinet at number 10 Downing Street. But this did not prevent pandemonium on the London Stock Exchange. The value of British industrials has decreased nearly £10 billion in the last 2 weeks. In Paris, the third government in 2 weeks failed of a vote of confidence. And President Romain, hopeless of forming a fourth government, suspended the Constitution and called upon the army to establish martial law. This, however, did not prevent wide disorders in Lyon, Marseille, and other French cities. Meanwhile, in Rome, the Holy Father urged a policy of patience and of faith.
Turn that blasted thing off.
Just on another minute, Dad.
But in Milan and Genoa, there was widespread rioting.
Turn it off, I said.
They gotta hand it to you, Pop. When you blow the lid off, you really blow it off. Well, that crowd out there's mad
I
enough.
thought I told you to stay out of the street.
I just wanted to take a look.
Haven't you anything better to do than lollygag around where you haven't any business? It's enough work for you to do around here.
Gosh, I did the whole lawn this afternoon.
Yeah, and left the moor where everybody could stumble over it as usual.
Trick or treat. Tricks or treat.
What's he made up for?
Halloween, remember? And children like to go out and play trick or treat. That is, children who can get out of the house do. And little boys who can't. They still like the fun of getting dressed up.
You look scrumptious, son. See? Bottle tops.
Trick or treat?
Next year we'll go trick or treat. How'll that be?
On your way, boys. And hands washed. Stu, will you see that he's polished up?
Oh, Mom, again?
Please. Be a good boy. I'll be in a minute, dear.
I'm sorry, Lynn.
You don't have to take it out on the kids, Chris.
Is that what I'm doing? I'm sorry.
Where are you going?
The lab. Gary's ordered some new gadget installed.
Mom, come here quick. Roger's splashing water all over. Hurry.
How's it going? Oh, evening, sir. Quite an installation you're getting here.
What is it?
That's the latest thing. We've only installed one other like it. That was in the Pentagon. It's an improvement on the cathode ray oscillograph. As soon as we get it wired up, then we're putting it outside in a cement vault. It'll take down your messages right off the transmitter. It records them on film.
Go ahead, light it.
Huh?
Be interesting to see if the place really would blow up.
You'll recall, Mr. Secretary, that the Joint Chiefs advised immediate control when the first message was received.
Yes, I recall quite well, General. I also recall that the President overruled us. Yes?
Admiral Carey, sir.
Have him come in.
Mr. Secretary, General Burdett.
Hello, Bill.
Sit down, Kerry, sit down. Have you decoded any other messages?
No, sir. We've been sweating over a batch for nearly a week now, but no success.
Thank heaven for that. We're closing down that decoding room out in California.
But messages are still coming in, sir.
Well, they'll be microwaved here as fast as they come in. And they're not getting outside this building. Your whole staff's coming back today. Nothing is to be released to the public.
Nothing. You understand, gentlemen? Nothing.
Is there anything else, sir?
Our economic system shambles. Industrial production shot to blazes. Our entire civilization collapsing about our heads like a house of cards. And the whole Western world going down with us. This Cronin has done more to smash the democratic world in the last 4 weeks than the Russians have been able to do in 11 years. I can hear the laughter in Moscow now. No, Admiral, no. There is nothing more.
Calling 2BLM, calling 2BLM.
2BLM here, go ahead.
Where's the genius? Where's the genius?
You will call him on another wavelength. 9434 kilocycles. Broadcast band E. Use scrambler number 5. The call number is 9K-BLM. Your call will be relayed. He's waiting for you.
Calling 9KBLM, calling 9KBLM.
Товарищ дежурный, передайте товарищу Арджиньяну, что Кольдер его вызывает.
Слушай.
Go ahead, Calder. This is Argenian. Are you all right?
Don't worry about me. How about you? How are you, Argenian? Huh? That's foolish of you to go where those monsters can lay hands on you.
Shut up, you fool.
Премьер спрашивает, есть ли другие новости.
Are there any more messages?
Mars seems to have run out of messages for the moment.
Чем интересуются американцы?
What are the Americans asking, Calder? If you can tell us that.
As nearly as I can understand, they want to know how the Martians, if they use cosmic power for everything, are kept from blowing each other to bits.
Send us the messages as soon as you get them. There must be no slip-ups. Is that understood?
Haven't you got your money's worth yet?
Не беспокойтесь, товарищ генерал. Не думаю, что американцы...
Is this dog, Calder, reliable?
Я сказал вам...
In English. If I want him to understand me, I'd speak Russian. Why didn't you insist on him coming here to work?
I couldn't insist. He would have destroyed his valve. He's a madman, a lunatic.
The world is full of lunatics. They want to start a war now. Now when there is no need. Stalin did not dare precipitate one because he could not defeat the free economy of the West. Now the economy is shattered. The strength of the Western world fades like a dream in the night. Their civilization perishes. Lenin dreamt of the world in his hands. Stalin tried to get it in his. Our premier will succeed. We will build our new world on the ruins of the West.
Dr. Stokes.
Yes.
Yours is identical with Robert's translation.
It can't mean anything else.
How do you explain it?
I don't even try.
All the other messages deal with such abstruse scientific data that we can't make any headway. Then out of the blue, this. Why, it's...
It's inspiring, Admiral, if nothing else.
Get me the Secretary of Defense.
He's at the White House, sir.
Prepare a memorandum to him.
Aye, aye, sir.
Eyes only.
Eyes only.
We can't risk the Russians decoding those messages. I certainly don't want war. But Moscow, Leningrad, Every nerve center in the Soviet Union must be wiped out.
I cannot fly in the face of 180 years of American history. I cannot start a war.
A month from now, we may not have the strength to fight one. The Russians may have in their hands the power.
No. This country will not launch a war.
Mr. President.
You still know my first name, George.
We've served a great many years together. And there's never been a day when I couldn't happily go along with any decision of yours. But I have a responsibility to this country, too. And I can't stand by and see it destroyed.
Our difference is that I don't believe it can be destroyed by 13 slips of paper covered with obscure symbols.
The Japanese Empire was destroyed by a slip of paper covered with obscure symbols. Once those symbols were translated into power.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You said to interrupt the men that they arrived, sir.
Oh, yes. Have them come in, please.
Won't you come in, please?
How do you do, Mrs. Cronin?
How do you do, Mr. President?
Mr. Cronin?
Mr. President.
It was very good of you to come. I'm only sorry you didn't bring your boy with you. I wanted to meet the culprit who started this whole business. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Cronin, Secretary of Defense, Mr. Sparks.
How do you do?
Mr. Sparks.
Mr. Cronin.
And General Burdett.
General Burdett.
Hello. Won't you sit down, please? I'm not going to drag this out, Cronin. I'm afraid I've got to break your heart.
You made a pretty fair start on that, Mr. President, when you pulled Kerry back to Washington, clamped this censorship on us. Have any further messages been decoded, or aren't we allowed to know?
There have been no further decodings. And now there will be no further messages to decode. You must shut down your transmitter.
Shut it down? You're not serious.
I've got to clamp the lid on this business. Stop these communications.
Well, I suppose that lies within your power, Mr. President. You can declare a national emergency.
I don't have to declare it. It's here, and not merely national.
You've shattered the economy of the civilized world.
I'm not interested in economics, Mr. Secretary. Who makes or who loses money doesn't seem as important to me as the chance to advance civilization 1,000 years in one jump.
Our job isn't the advancement of civilization. It's to preserve the country handed down to us.
If we believed that, every scientist from Franklin to Edison would have been suppressed.
Gentlemen.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. If you order it, sir, of course I'll have to shut my transmitter down. But I'll never do it of my own volition.
Even though it threatens national security?
Does it threaten national security to know that man can look forward to a longer lifespan? That he has at his disposal the power to eliminate 90% of the world's work?
We've learned that from the 4 messages we've decoded. There are 13 others that we haven't translated.
Plus the one we received today.
So long as they're not decoded, they can't threaten anything.
I said that we haven't translated. Kerry released the bulletin on cosmic power at 11:22 p.m. Pacific Coast time, the night of the 27th. The same bulletin was released in Moscow at 9:30 a.m. the morning of the 28th.
Well, what of it? We broadcast everything on the Voice of America anyway.
But there's an 11-hour differential between Moscow and San Diego, Cronin. 9:30 a.m. in Moscow is 52 minutes earlier than 11:22 the night before in San Diego.
You mean the Russians are intercepting and decoding?
Well, is any other explanation possible?
Calder.
Who?
The man who invented the hydrogen valve. It's the very heart of the transmitter.
Now you see how important it is to stop your communication with this other planet.
I see now why they can't be stopped.
What do you mean?
If Calder can pick up our messages, he can also pick up messages of his own. We may stop, but he won't. And then our national security really is threatened.
Yes.
For the Secretary, Mr. President, eyes only.
What's a note from Admiral Kerry? They've decoded another message, today's. Kerry's outside now, Mr. President.
Have him come in, please.
Admiral Kerry?
Come in, Admiral, come in.
You'll forgive me, Mr. President, but the Secretary left orders that no matter where Have you got another message? Yes, we've got one. Oh, may I, sir?
I think he's entitled to that.
Well, this is nonsense. It's impossible.
What is it, Cronin?
You remember, sir, we asked them how, with their free use of cosmic energy, they were prevented from blowing each other off the face of the map.
If they have an answer to that, I'll welcome it.
Well, according to this, they submitted the question to their supreme leader. You say spiritual, Bill.
I'm not sure it shouldn't be something even stronger. Godlike was Dr. Stokes' translation.
What is the message, Chris?
You have been given knowledge and have used it for destruction. 7 lifetimes ago, you were told to love goodness and hate evil. Why have you denied the truth?
The Sermon on the Mount. On Mars.
But don't talk nonsense, Linda.
Love goodness and hate evil? What else would you call it?
I don't understand it.
I don't either, Chris. But I'm glad we installed the oscillograph, because once the messages are recorded on film, no one can accuse us of garbling them.
Well, Mr. President, I said I'd never voluntarily suppress a message. But I was wrong. This one can't go out.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't make sense. It's not scientific.
Oh, maybe it's the one scientific truth we've forgotten.
You mean you take this message seriously?
We took the other seriously, didn't we? If we were right to release one message, we must release this too.
Mr. President, you know the panic those other messages have caused. Loose a wave of religious hysteria on top of it, and every crackpot and his brother will be lecturing on street corners.
Mr. President, you're worried about national security. Is there one word in that message that threatens our security? Or anyone else's?
And solution, there was none. Save in the rule of Christ alone. My father was very fond of Emerson. May I see that message, please?
You're not going to release it?
Your arguments in defense of scientific freedom have convinced me.
Well, this time Cronin is right, Mr. President. We can't hitch our wagon to that star.
We've switched stars, Mr. Secretary. Now we're following the Star of Bethlehem. That message is to be broadcast all over the world, in all languages, exactly as decoded.
Die letzte Mars-Sendung hat keine weitere Erklärung. Wir wissen nur, dass wir es mit einer Person von höchster Wichtigkeit zu tun haben.
Полученная сейчас радиопередача с Марса пока не может быть полностью расшифрована. Единственное, что понятно в настоящий момент, это следующее. Исходит это сообщение от таинственного лица, которое марсиане называют высшее существо. Слушайте, что произнесло это лицо.
Yes, yes, Calder, I heard you. But what does it mean?
Why ask me?
I'm an expert on electronics, not religious movements.
Are there any other messages?
Questions by the thousands. There are no answers.
Are there any other messages?
Questions by the thousands. There are no answers.
Bother the questions. Let us know when they answer.
I know I am not alone in being struck by the phrase with which the message begins. 7 lifetimes ago are the words. But we know that the Martian's life is 300 years. So 7 lifetimes is about 2,100 years. Or, as near as one could ask, to the era in which the carpenter of Nazareth went forth to preach his message. Is it only coincidence that the message he broadcast 2,000 years ago should again be broadcast from the Supreme Being on Mars? If so, then how explain that this authority should know what we on Earth were told 20 centuries ago? Or is it possible that the man of Nazareth and the man of Mars are the same?
Get them crawlers out of your hair.
What for?
We're going to church, that's what for.
Do you feel all right?
Now, look, don't argue with me. Get the curlers out of your hair and let's get dressed and get out of here. This ain't no time to take chances.
It has brought hope when we had lost all hope. It has brought light into a world of darkness. All over the world, regardless of their religious beliefs, men have found a new faith by which to live. No, not a new faith, but an old one. Many of us had allowed ourselves to lose. A faith that is universal in men of all faiths. For while to us the words from Mars seem the very essence of the Christian doctrine, let us not forget that they are also the essence of all other religions. Christian, Mohammedan, Jewish, Buddhist. All are heeding the call to prayer, kneeling humbly in the search for divine guidance. I pray particularly that behind the Iron Curtain, where our eyes are not permitted to see, men will open their hearts to the message of peace and the promise that their rulers have so long denied them. Today's message reads, "Ye have denied God's word and worshipped false gods. Thy torment is the price of thine own sin."
Сегодняшнее краткое сообщение с Марса гласит:
Слушайте, ты отрекся от Слова Божьего. Ты поклонился идолу. И муки твои — суть награда за твои прегрешения. И муки твои — суть награда за твои прегрешения.
Они близко подходят.
Lloyd! Bob! Кулаки! Разгонись по домам! Слушай команду! Я вас всех перебью!
His messages are spreading all over the country. Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, and no one knows how. Villages that have never even seen the radio suddenly erupt.
Have you heard the latest message?
Is there another?
The Americans released it an hour ago.
Простите, товарищ генерал.
He who follows the tyrant's banner shall wear the tyrant's chains.
He who carries God's banner shall know everlasting life.
But do you expect me to tell them that?
What you tell them is no concern of mine.
Everlasting life!
Hello, Calder. Are you there? Calder, are you there?
Krasni's.
Come in, Calder. He doesn't answer. Comrade General, I would not suggest...
Suggest what?
These uprisings. Is it possible that...
It is possible that another mass transplantation of population may be necessary. We have fostered a famine 30 years ago. We shall foster another. Let 20 or 30 millions of this shift die, and see how long the religious faith lives.
But if the messages continue...
We have found a religious revival necessary to get them to fight the Germans. We will have another, and they will fight the West.
Are you sure the valve's working?
Oh, I've checked it a dozen times.
There must be some reason for their silence up there.
Well, there can be 1,000. We've got 2 atmospheres to get through. Ours may be clear and theirs may be impenetrable, or maybe their transmitter's out of whack. Maybe the operator's got the measles, or maybe he's finished his allotted 300 years, or maybe...
They've said everything they have to say. Maybe the rest is up to us.
Calling 2B, 7XK.
He won't answer. Come on.
There's no need for me in there.
You can have the honor of telling the Premier that your communication have bogged down. I don't want to answer his questions.
Нашли этого Калдера?
Нет, контакта с Калдру.
Это что же, господин Арджиния? Правда?
Простите, товарищ премьер. Я не виноват.
Talk English, you fool! Anything is preferable to that atrocious accent.
I'm sorry, Comrade Premier. Perhaps if I tried again.
Has the Patriarch arrived yet?
Никак нет.
Go to the airport. Well?
There is no answer.
Не понимаю. Что случилось?
Comrade Premier, if I may suggest, the transmitter, we could contact the airport with it.
Hurry! Продолжайте. До свидания.
Никто не отвечает.
Ну что же?
We are trying.
Что случилось там? Что тут делать?
Замолчать!
Look! The lights are still on out there.
Товарищ Премьер.
Singing. It was one of the favorite anthems of the cathedrals.
That will silence their hymns. What do these superstitious peasants think they can accomplish against our guns?
Hello? Yes, Dr. Mitchell. No, she and Stewart went to town. Haven't got back yet. The baby had the sniffles and I... What? Are you serious? Well, yes, right away.
What that?
Come on, son.
The first program ever to be televised to the Western world from Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, the British ambassador to Moscow.
And I have been appointed to speak for my fellow members of the diplomatic corps.
In days to come, thousands of volumes will be written about the miracle of these last 12 days. The miracle of a nation finding its soul. As the messages from Mars spread throughout the country, the heart of the Russian people began to swell with an old faith, and spontaneous demonstrations of that faith took place. From the churches, they moved on the jails, the fortresses. And here in Moscow, the arrival yesterday of the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church provided the tinder that burned down the Soviet edifice. Thousands of the residents of this city are now dead. They died in the creation of a new government. The Patriarch as its provisional head. As the new leader of a new Russia, he will speak to you himself.
This morning, our armies in occupation of other lands have been recalled to our own soil. We have thrown off our chain of 40 years of bondage. We now free our neighbors of theirs. This is the first act of our new government. The second is the reopening of our churches so that our people might worship God in freedom and in accord with their own conscience. The bells of those churches now speak for us. They speak only what is in our hearts. The prayer that all men can henceforth live in peace.
I wish you were a little older, son. I wish you could remember this.
No, I have to go get.
Oh, we're famous people, son, your mother and I. Names in the papers, decorations, scientific awards. You know what's really important? You. You're our immortality. You and your brother, the kids you'll have, and the lives you'll lead. You're the blessed generation.
Chris, have you heard the news?
Mitchell called me. I couldn't believe it.
I heard it on the car radio. Chris, you should see that crowd. You should see their faces.
And I didn't want the religious messages released.
Dad, the Russians on the radio. Saffron cow. Maybe you've reformed the Russians, Pop, but not young hopeful.
Lynn?
Yes?
Suppose it's over. Communications, I mean. Suppose we never make it again. There's nothing wrong with the transmitter. Atmospheric conditions won't explain it either. No matter how bad they are, we'd pick up something.
Would it really matter? We talk of their older civilization, and what have they given us? Nothing we couldn't have had all along. Prayers were given us long before wireless.
Good evening, Mr. Cronin.
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
My credentials.
The hydrogen valve.
Uh-huh. The original specifications.
Where did you get these?
I drew them.
Calder. Franz Calder.
Where have you come from?
This afternoon, you parked your station wagon in front of the post office. Didn't look in the back when you drove home. Neither did the guards that surround your place.
This is the most stupendous joke I've ever heard. We thought you were in Russia, and here you were in this country all the time.
Only since yesterday, Mr. Cronin. wasn't exactly a triumphant entry. Mr. Cronin, did you ever have to crawl through the mud beneath a barbed wire fence? Hide like a hunted animal to avoid the border inspectors?
In heaven's name, why?
Why? I developed a dislike of jails.
Jail? Are you out of your mind, man? Have you heard nothing of what's happened in the world? In spite of your record, there'd have been an open door for the inventor of the hydrogen valve.
Which you stole.
Well, don't talk nonsense. Your specifications became government property. Anyone had a right to use them.
That's a matter of opinion.
Don't worry, Mr. Calder. Chris has given you credit for everything that belongs to you. Every scientific journal has given you full credit.
If you'll forgive me, where I've been, the latest scientific journals were not at hand. I lived in a hut at 11,000 feet in the Andes. An avalanche finished it. But I dug myself out 9 days ago.
Well, I'm glad you got out anyway. We're just about to broadcast. You might be interested in
You're right. It will amuse me.
All set, Lynn?
Yes.
It's a shame you didn't get a chance to carry on your work yourself.
In a small way, I did.
You built a transmitter.
Naturally.
And then you might have picked up Mars.
I tried. I never succeeded.
All right, Lynn, shut it off. With your knowledge and the valve, you should have succeeded. Unless, of course, atmospherics play tricks at that altitude.
On some people, Mr. Cronin. You won't mind if I take my coat off, huh? Yes, on some people.
What do you mean by that?
Of course, I only got out with what I had in my pockets, but I think this will interest you.
There are messages and the replies, all of them. The ones that weren't decoded, too. Then you did pick up Mars?
No.
How else could you get these?
When did you hear from Mars last? 9 days ago, wasn't it?
A little after 8 o'clock.
Now, you figure the difference in time. And you'll find it was about half an hour before my set was smashed.
I don't believe it.
How slow you were in thinking up that pi formula. And the creation of a vocabulary. Aren't you grateful that I made it so easy for you? Here you were, the whole mobilized science of the world behind you. And there was I, alone, giving you answers.
You sent the messages. The whole thing was a fraud.
That credit I will share with you.
Why? What were you after?
Shall we say, amusement? You thought you'd created a new Earth, and I destroy it. A new heaven, and that I shall destroy. Once my story is told.
You can't do it!
You can see the possibilities for entertainment, huh?
Listen to me, Mr. Calder. I've 2 children over there in that house, and I'm just one of millions. Millions of women that for the first time know their children are secure. You can't destroy that!
Paradise lost, Mrs. Cronin. Paradise lost. That's my present to the world.
He's lying, Linda. Those messages were from Mars. They came from outside the atmosphere.
You take me for an amateur, huh? I shot my signals up to hit the heaviside layer. They deflected down at any angle. Naturally, they seem to come from outside the atmosphere. No. Once I detected your signals, the rest was easy. I could accomplish much more, making you believe I was Mars, than ever getting Mars myself.
Chris.
What is it?
He did not send the religious messages.
Of course I didn't. You know that.
What do you mean?
Here are his messages, the very first few as we received them. But when we asked how they've kept themselves from blowing each other to bits, his answer was, one tribe must hold the power. It had nothing to do with the Sermon on the Mount. It was the prophet talking to us.
The prophet? Clever of you to create him. You played right into my hands. I smashed your economic system with a power panic. But that still left my friends in Moscow. I had to smash them too. From my hut, I could see the statue of Christ. I never thought of using him against them. Thank you for that idea.
They must have been desperate. Who? Kerry, Sparks, all of them. They must have done this in Washington.
Darling, you were there. You spoke with Sparks and the president. Did you think they were play acting?
I don't know.
Who did it is immaterial. When I saw the effect on Moscow, I knew you'd created my weapon for me. That's why I let you raise the world up with all that muck right up to the sky, so I can dash it down to hell when I tell my story.
You can't do it, Calder.
Who's to stop me? God? He had his chance 9 days ago. If I hadn't dug myself out, you'd have gotten away with your fraud.
It was no fraud.
You'd have won.
It was no fraud.
You don't expect me to believe those messages were not faked.
We expect you to believe the truth, just the way the rest of the world believes, just the way we believe.
But here is my proof. There have been no messages since my transmitter was shattered. How will you explain that to the world, Mr. Cronin? Sermon on the Mount. Peace on earth. No, Mrs. Cronin. You are not dealing with a superstitious peasant. If those first messages were fake, the last were too. The world will believe me, just as your husband believed me. And then you'll all be at each other's throats again. All of you. And I'll have done it. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. My favorite poem, Mrs. Cronin. The unconquerable will and study of revenge, immortal hate, and courage never to submit or yield. That's my God, Mrs. Cronin. Satan. Lucifer's my hero. God beat him. But I'll have beaten God.
And nothing will convince you.
Nothing. It's 8:26 according to your clock. I sent a telegram in your name inviting the press to be here at 8:30. They will only to wait a few minutes before they hear my story.
Why didn't you tell it right away? Why did you come here to torture us?
Suppose someone had stolen the fruits of your genius, wouldn't you want to see them humbled in the dust?
Perhaps. It doesn't matter. Linda, you go back to the house.
Do you remember what you said to me the night of the first message? Nothing I was connected with could produce evil. It won't, Chris. We'll finish it together.
I want you with the boys. It'll only take a minute.
Is that what you really want? I love you, darling.
You do think me a fool. You think I let you walk out of here to call those private guards of yours? What's the matter, man? Cheer up. The reporters will be here in a few minutes. You like publicity, don't you?
2 minutes before they get here. Give me a cigarette, Chris.
I can't go through with it, Lynn, not now.
The boys are safe. This is their chance. Give me the cigarette.
Funny. In all the years, I've never seen you smoke.
You're not going to smoke in here.
God gave us free will, Mr. Calder. It's what distinguishes us from the animals. We can choose between good and evil. But if we choose evil now, that's the end of the human story.
I can't let you do it.
Stay where you are!
It's a simple problem, isn't it, Mr. Calder? To let you tell your story and risk setting mankind at each other's throats again. Or to see that you keep silent and save mankind.
Val!
Give me a light.
Don't! Don't! The room's alive with hydrogen. A spark now would... Stop! Stop! You wouldn't kill your wife?
Chris, look. Now will you believe? Your set's destroyed. But there's a message coming in. There's your proof.
No, not now. She won't beat me now.
We do not know and never shall what caused the destruction of that laboratory in California. We only know that Chris and Linda Cronin are gone. And that in our time there will be no more messages from Mars. For God in his infinite wisdom has decreed that the revelations which came through them, his servants, were sufficient to fulfill his purpose. At the very moment when they were snatched up in that chariot of fire into the bosom of truth everlasting, a final message was being received. Only the first few words of that message were recorded before the explosion cut it short. Those words were, "Ye have done well, my good." The rest is silence. Silence. No. No, for as I speak, the bells of 1,000,000 churches in every far corner of the earth ring out in salutation to the earth's new day of hope. The voices of the joyful rise in 1,000 hymns. Hymns not of grief, but of thanksgiving. And mankind, kneeling in gratitude for its redemption, prays for the spirit of this man and this woman. Of them, as of no mortals before them, it may be said, the whole earth is their sepulcher. And so the message does not remain unfinished. The miracle we have beheld has cleansed our souls and wiped the scales from our eyes. With the new vision given us, we who are left can complete that message. Ye have done well, good and faithful servants. Enter ye into the joy of your Lord. Thy monument is a world of peace.
You're lucky, boys. You're their sons.
Now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.